guys, how's it going? This is Diane, the b.a.blessingstitcher, and this is my Flosstube number 6. And it's a channel all about cross stitch with a tiny bit of sewing and quilting, mostly collecting fabric thrown in. And today is Friday, August 25. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. Welcome, and for everybody who's returning, thank you guys so much. I just appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love all your comments. It's just been so fun getting to know some of you better, and I just really love reading through them each and every day. I had a huge increase in my subscribers, and I hit a goal. I hit over 1,000 subscribers, which blows me away. Can't believe you guys really want to spend time with me. That's a little crazy to me, but I'm so thankful that you do, and I'm so glad you're here. So I didn't think I had enough to show you this time, so I pulled out some finishes from last year because I didn't really feel like I had a ton of time to stitch this past week, but I still got a few things done that I'll show you. So I'll show you my finishes, I'll show you my whips, and I'll show you my plans, and we'll go from there. And my haul, of course, there's always haul. So we'll go from there. So I made notes again because I really don't do well without notes. So I just wanted to mention you can follow me on Instagram. It's the same as here on YouTube, the b.a.blessingstitcher. I'm also on Facebook. That one's b.a.blessing22. So if you can find me there, that would be great. I want to start though first with a question. I had a lot of people ask me about how to remove your dye from like a mistake, like from bleeding, like when you've washed something and the dye has bled into the fabric. And I guess I must not have followed that through very well. The tutorial was actually from a gal called Arndt, A-R-N-D-T, and I will put a link in the description box to her tutorial, but it's really very simple. Basically, it depends on the size of your project, but you take super hot water. I even threw in just a little bit of boiling water in it. I put a little bit of Dawn dish soap in there, and I threw my piece in there that I needed to remove the dye from, and I let that soak overnight. And in the morning, mine was fine, but you can repeat that process as necessary depending on how bad it is, until the water is clear. If the water is clear to you when you're done, it means you've gotten all the extra dye out. So it can be done on even large projects. Erica in her tutorial had a quilt that bled red, and she was able to remove a lot of it. So I encourage you guys to go watch her video for that, because it was very helpful for me and it worked really well. She also recommends color catchers, that you throw those in the wash. I've never used one, so I don't know much about them, but they're going on my grocery list because I think I am going to try to pick some up. I think you throw them through the wash with that too, and that helps to collect the dye instead of having it go into the fabric. So that was another suggestion that she had too. So I'm sorry I didn't clarify that on the first video, but I wanted to make sure I answered that one here as well for you this time. That was really my biggest question that I had this last time. So what I'll start with is some of my finishes. On my last video, I showed you guys, I indicated to you that I was going to be doing the flying lessons Sal with NicholSpohr. The flying lessons pattern is by Diane Randall from Silver Creek Samplers, and I had made some changes to it. But after talking, and it's this pattern right here. It's super cute. It's called Flying Lessons, I believe. I kept wanting to call it Fly by Night, but it's a really cute pattern. And Nichol, I think, is into week 2 with her stitch along on that. And you can find her also on YouTube. If you're not familiar with her, I can't imagine anybody's not familiar with her. It's Nichol, last name is Spohr, S-P-O-H-R. And I'll put a link to her channel too. But she's doing a stitch along. And the changes that I made were not ones that Diane wanted me to share. She was afraid people would be confused by my pattern, by my changes, because what I did is not available. It was just something that I altered and did myself. And so she didn't really want me to share my progress or any of that kind of stuff on social media. But I did finish it, and I feel comfortable sharing my finished project because I don't think anyone will be able to take any part of the pattern from the finished project. And I will link her original pattern here so that you guys know where to get the original pattern from. And if you do want to make any changes yourself, you can as well. But I did stitch that one and I finished it. So I did have a start and a finish last time. And this was how my flying lessons turned out. What I ended up doing was I replaced the witch's broom with a lamppost. And instead of putting the hat and the bats on there, I did crows and some stars up in the sky there. I also wanted it to be kind of muted. I don't love to decorate for Halloween, and so I didn't want it to be an in-your-face kind of a Halloween. So I used a very light purple color. It was almost a brown purple when I was working with it, just to kind of make it softer looking. And then I did go ahead and purchase the stand by Chantel 141 Design Company, and I will show you guys what that looks like when it's all finished. So maybe next time I'll have that done. I hope I can have that done by then because I did receive it just yesterday. So I just need to get it painted and assembled, and then of course I need to do my finish. I have to figure out exactly how and what I'm gonna put on the backing for it, if I wanna put fabric with it as well. So that was one start and finish. And did I have any other new starts? I don't think I had any other. Oh, I take that back. I did have a new start. I just started it. It's Sunflower by Rovaris. And it's this pattern right here. And I just started it recently, just in the last day or two. And I had seen NicholSpohr stitch this one, and I thought it would just be a cute little pillow to tuck somewhere in my house. And so I did start that one, and after I got going, I decided I really wanted to do it. I started doing the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club, and so I don't have very many of their colors yet, but I joined the Prim, I believe, colors. And so I'm getting a lot of greens and like browns and golds and that kind of thing. And the colors were perfect to do this particular stitch. So this is how far I am so far on that. And you can see the variegation there in the green, a little bit in the brown. There really wasn't much in the black, but there will be variegation in that yellow too. There's a great big yellow flower that's coming up that I'm getting really excited to try. It's got two different colors of yellow, and both my yellows are sort of close, so we'll see how that pans out and see if there's any difference, if I can tell a difference between the two. It might look like all one color, just in shades, different shades, but I think I'm okay with that. So that was my only other new start. The other thing that I worked on this week, or the last 2 weeks, was my bouquet of sunshine sampler, which is also sunflowers. Do you guys see a theme here? I'm really getting into the fall spirit of things a little bit. And that one is this one right here. And that one was, I previously linked in one of my previous videos, I linked where you guys could find some of those, or at least the names of some of the places. It's in a Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. It was dated August of '92. That was where I found mine, but there's also a book of 101 favorite Cross Stitch and Country Craft something favorites or something like that. It's in a book format, and I think there's a bunch more in that book. However, everywhere I have found that book, it's been spendy. So anyway, those are the places you can search for that if you're interested in it. I didn't get terribly far, but I did manage to get some of my border in. The little squares around the border are two different colors, and now I have to go in and put single stitches in between each one of these little squares here. Those all will need to have individual stitches in them. I think what I'm going to do as of right now is kind of finish the border up And then I'm gonna jump into doing the sunflowers because I'm excited to do those, but I didn't want to tackle those until I had the border done and around and I knew that everything was going to match up there. So that was my other whip. And then I think the only other thing that I may have worked on was my soda stitch. I can't quite remember if I showed this to you guys last week or not. The week they're kind of blurring together on me a little bit. But this is where I am on my soda stitch. It's Sky Blue Street by Soda Stitch. And I actually found a picture of it finished on Brenda, the handwork maniac. She had it on her wall. And I was so excited to see that because I hadn't ever seen anyone do it before. But I'm sure it's an older pattern. Like I said, I'm kind of new to this cross stitch world again. So I have lots to learn and see. But that one's really a lot of fun, but I think it's going to get put aside now for a while because I'm wanting to jump into some fall things. I do have a stitch along coming up with Mrs. Smith Stitches. Her name is Alana, on the Mighty Acorn by Blackbird Designs. It's in the book called Winds of Autumn, and it's this one, but I will be doing it. I'm going to do the house in blue. Sarah, let's see, what's it called? HandmadebySarahW on Instagram did this one. She also has a YouTube channel. She did this one with a blue house or a dark gray. It was kind of hard to tell from her picture. And I'll try to insert a picture of hers up here as well. But I really loved the blue. I thought it broke up some of kind of the gold and the orange colors that were going on there. I just thought it added a nice kind of pop of color there. So I'm super excited to start that. I actually just contacted Color and Cotton this morning and asked them to do a conversion for me. I sent them an email with pictures and the called fors, and they're going to get back to me and get me the colors I can do, because I love Color and Cotton, you guys. Wow. Just wow. I like it so much better than Weeks or Classic Colorworks. It just feels like it's softer. It glides a little bit better. It's still knots. I mean, I think the way I stitch causes knots, so I can't say it's so much easier to stitch with, but there's something about the way the stitches lay and something about the way it glides. I love it. So far, I love it. So anyway, I'm excited to get those and get started on this. I think we're going to start this like September 18. I think that's what she said her birthday was. So I'm super excited to get started on that one. Then what else do I have? Not a whole lot. I have a lot of plans. Oh my stars, do I have a lot of plans. So hard to narrow it down sometimes. I have so many things that I want to do for the next season that they are kind of all a big jumbled mess in my head right now. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like a big old squirrel. But I thought I'd show you a couple of things that I did finish last summer, or last fall, I guess it was. Bear with me, these were the very first things that I finished after I picked up cross stitching again. One of them was a stitch along that NicholSpohr did, and it was a Welcome Autumn pattern by Primrose Cottage. And this was my finish. She made hers into a pillow as well. And I love how this one looks in my dough bowl. And it just has some lady dot chenille around the outside edge, and I did stitch it on. That was what Nichol had recommended. And so you can kind of see it. At least I can kind of see where my stitches tacked it. She said if you take like a brush or something and brush it across the top, that would disappear, but mine really didn't. But I still like it better than gluing it down because I don't do glue well. I'm a hot mess with glue. It's everywhere. It's on my fingers, in my hair, on my face. If I scratch my nose, it's on my nose. I have glue everywhere when I work with glue. So stitching to me is gonna always be my preferred choice. So anyway, love this one. This was the fabric I got from Fat Quarters Shop to do the back. I still have quite a bit of that fabric left. So hopefully I can integrate that into some of my other fall stitches that are coming up. And then I did the fall petites. Oh, who was that by? it's either Country, I think it's Little House Needleworks. I think it was Little House Needleworks. And I had found these blocks. These are not great, you guys. And the bows are not even attached because I couldn't commit. But I found these blocks at Walmart. They were just super cheap little blocks. And so I spray painted the backs of them. And then I glued magnets to the front, which one came off already, so that I could change these out, because I planned at that time to do all of the little petites, and I ended up not doing all of those. So I could glue these down, I guess, if I really wanted to. But then I had found a couple of really cute candlesticks at Hobby Lobby. These had like a base that was screwed on top. So I unscrewed that, and then I was able, I didn't glue them down again because I still unsure of myself, but they set so cute on top of that. And I found a couple of different sizes, and I was able to make a little arrangement. So this is another one. I can't hold all four up at the same time. And I did this one. And I did this one. And the way I finished these is horrible. I don't know what these are going to look like in a few years, because I didn't want them to be puffy. And so I glued the fabric down to the backing. So I don't know if that's going to discolor over time, but not the preferred way to do it anymore. Whoops, sorry. Definitely wouldn't try that again. But anyway, those were super fun to stitch. They only took a short period of time. I could do them in almost a day. And they were just fun. They had a lot of different elements and a few color changes, but it wasn't horrible. So I enjoyed doing those a lot. Okay, that's it for my finishes, guys. That's sad. I felt like I should have had more. Let's jump into, I think, haul. Let's do haul first, and then I'll go into my, no, let's try to do plans. Let's do plans next. Okay, I have so many things I want to start, and I just hardly even know where to begin. But this will be my very next start. I did not get Lady of the Flag started on my birthday, because as I got closer to my birthday, I started waffling on the fabric I had chosen, and I decided to order the Constitution fabric from Stitchery Express, or Stitchery Express, Express Stitchery. I'm so bad, you guys. I'll put a link. But anyway, I ordered that, and that hasn't come yet. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna jump in and do that. That might actually take a back seat now for a while as I try to do some fall stitching. But I still plan to start my Heidi. Oh, wow, I'm a mess. So I still plan to do this one. I showed this one to you guys last time. And I bought a scroll frame so that I can put it on a scroll frame, because I think that one's gonna be too hard to stitch with a hoop. I just think it's gonna be difficult, and I don't like the idea of it having a lot of different lines and stuff in it as I'm stitching. I did buy 25 count gridded fabric for it, and I'm kind of wishing I had done 28 count, but I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna try doing it 1/1. We'll see how it goes. I could end up restarting if I don't like the coverage that I'm getting with 1/1 on 25. But this is going to be probably the next start. I plan to finish my little sunflower stitch by Rovaris that I showed you earlier. I plan to finish that one, and then I think I'm gonna jump into this one. My husband's birthday was on August 30, so it'll be the end of the month, but I think I'm gonna tackle this one next week and get a start. So that one's the closest to my next starts. But I also I wanna do the next month in my series of Seasons, A Year of Celebration by Hands-On Design. September is super cute, super cute. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll try to get close. Let's see. It's the one with all the sunflowers, and as you know, I like sunflowers. So I'm anxious to get started on that one. So that one's gonna get thrown into the to be started soon one. I don't know if I'll get it finished by September, but I'm going to at least get it started and then kind of plug away at it a little bit here at a time. I was doing some bigger things and I just needed a break from them, and I find that when I throw some smalls in there, I don't get quite as burnt out on a project if I can take a little break and finish a small in between and then go jump back into my bigger ones again. So I'm really liking this interspersing some smalls in between things. And then I also want to make some more of my ornaments from the Dimensions kit that I had showed you my finish on. I want to do another one of these, so I've got to pick out the next one. I've done that Joy Noel one, so I've got to pick another one of those out, and I want to get another one of those started. So another small that I'll be able to tackle here soon. Those aren't quite so intimidating. That Heidi is a little intimidating, but if I don't ever start it, I just have to be brave. I just have to be brave and dive in. Actually, that's what one of my subscribers told me, don't be afraid. So I'm gonna try to not be afraid. And then the other one is that I'm still working on, and it's a Christmas one. He might go on the back burner for just a bit until we get closer to Christmas, but it's my other Dimensions kit, which is Birds and Berries. And I don't think I've made any new progress on that one since we last talked. But I'll pull it out and I'll show you where I'm at on that. I did not do that on the called for either. I often change my fabric on those dimension kits because I don't care for just the scratchy stiff Aida that they send you. I switched it to 36 count linen by Grace Notes Fabrics. It's French vanilla. And so that was the fabric, but I am using the floss that came with the kit. And I think I showed this to you last time. So this is where I still am at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed this to you. But he will be coming out again soon. I just feel like I want to do a couple of fall things. When I switch my decor over to fall, I don't have things finished to fill in the gaps. So I want to get a few things done and then figure things out from there, because it's gonna look funny. I don't know if I should leave my 4th of July stuff up for the places that I don't have one, or if I should just leave it off. Yeah, I haven't quite decided how I'm gonna decorate that yet. We'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Okay, and then I still wanna start this one too for fall by Brenda Gervais. I love fall most of all. This one's on my short list to do. And I plan to make him kind of small. So that's on the short list. And have I not shown you anything yet? I don't think so. Nope, that's my Heidi. Yep, I think that's it for the my immediate things that I want to get started. So those are my plans. We'll see if they actually pan out. I did get this one from the Stash Unlimited group, which I really love. I know that we have Sampler September coming up, and I liked this one so much. It's called Time and Season Sampler by who? Inspired by samplers admired in museums. Moira Blackburn, sorry. That took me forever to come up with that. This is a really pretty sampler. Oh, I'm gonna have to take him out of the bag for you guys. And I've got this one partially kitted, but I'm also starting Mighty Acorns, and so I don't know if I wanna jump into 2 samplers right away, but I think this one's super pretty. I love the border, I love the colors, I love the saying, and I haven't really done very many samplers yet. So I'm starting to kind of ease into that a little bit. I want to start doing a few. I don't want my house full of samplers. That's not how I decorate, but I do want some. And there are some that I think are just really beautiful. So that is one. Where did I get that from? Oh yeah. And then of course, we'll jump into haul next. I did purchase a few things. Oh boy. If my daughter is watching, close your eyes. She freaks out when she sees my haul. Okay, so most of this came from the Stash unloading or a destash cross-stitch site. Oh, those are hard to say. And so you get good deals when you do that quite often. This was one that I really have always wanted. It's Lady Liberty by Blackbird Designs, and it's done in a drum. I think that one's beautiful. And I've been eyeing that one for a while. And then I bought, crazy me, whew, this is a big boy. Big girl, big boy. Somebody told me that I say boy a lot. I call my projects he's, and I should call them she's. Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Very intimidated to start this one. I've seen so many people stitching it, and they're incredible. So these are all things that I plan to do down the road. On a rainy day, right? I have to have a rainy couple months in order to get that one done. And then another one that I got on Homespun Needlework Facebook group, Julie Krisavi, I don't know if I say her name right, offers exclusives from time to time on that site. And she offered Jane Thompson 1838 by the Scarlet House. And I had never done one before. And it was available with silks, which I've also never stitched with before. And so I wanted to give it a try. And so I bought this kit, and that one came with all of my, I think these are 100s. What are they called? A Vera Soie 100s, I think. Not sure what they're called. But anyway, I can't decide if that's gonna jump into September or not. I'm really feeling the draw to stitch pumpkins and to stitch more fall things. So I don't know if I'm gonna jump in and start that one just yet. I also bought this one. Sorry for the crinkling, guys. I should have pulled some of this apart beforehand. This one, you can't see it if you don't take it out because it's too big. It's called In All Things Be Exceedingly Diligent. And it's kind of a long one. Another sampler style, but I saw that one done too somewhere, and I thought it was really pretty. I'm starting to get brave, and I'm starting to change colors on things, and I'm starting to really enjoy that. I think that's kind of fun, actually. Okay, what else do we have? I picked up this Happy Morning by Plum Street Samplers. You guys have probably seen this one all over the place. I think I'd like to stitch that one for Christmas. Oof, that glare is bad. So I think I'm gonna get started on that one at some time pretty soon because I really think I wanna stitch that one for Christmas, or at least get started on it. I doubt that I'll get it done. This one was, I don't know why, I just loved this one. I have this thing about crows. Ever since I changed that pattern to crows, I just kind of fell in love with crows. This one's called it's just called Old Crow. But I thought it was quite elegant looking. I really liked the simplicity and yet kind of the curves, smooth curvy lines of that one. You know what, he's gonna go in the to stitch pile. I'm never gonna get them done. Okay, and then I got a Kathy Barrick. This one is called And Heaven and Nature Sing. This I think is my first Kathy Barrick. Love that deer. So excited to stitch that one. Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which pile does it go? To stitch? Okay, it's Christmas. It does not yet. And I got another sampler, A Perfect World by the Scarlet House. I'd seen somebody do the bottom border on this, and it was, wow. That bottom, I'll take it out. I hate to take them out because then I have a hard time finding all the pieces again when I have to put things back together. But you can't really see it very well unless you take it out. It's so pretty, you guys. So pretty. So I'm excited to start that one. I have no plans to start that anytime soon. I'm well on my way to stash beyond life expectancy, accumulated stash beyond life expectancy. And then I bought another Mirabilia. This one, I wish they would put the names on them. I have yet to find that on these. I think it's one of the pixie ones, but I'm not sure. I'm starting to collect some of the pixie ones. And then I bought, this one came actually with some of the beads. Oh, there's more than one in here, I forgot. Okay, don't judge me, don't judge me. I got this one. And I got this one. I think she's cute. Her name, I do know her name is Holly. And she's kind of a Christmas one, like for holly leaves and berries. And this one is called Rose. So I have my hands full with my mirrors. I've got quite a collection going of mirrors now. And I've got one of these is kitted with some beads. I'm not even sure. Holly, I have the ones for, oh, Jasmine is the first one. And so I've got beads for both Jasmine and for Holly. I don't have any beads for Rose yet there. Okay, and then I've got two. What in the world is that? Oh, that fell out. Interesting. Wow, I made a mess of that. That's the floss, okay. I found this one online and I thought it was so cute. I kind of love raccoons. And I thought that those little faces were so adorable. So I bought that dimensions kit. And my floss fell out of that one. And then I bought this sampler also called Bluebirds and Bluebells by Lori Pengelly. Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And I thought that one was really pretty too. I liked all the elements. What's becoming important to me is the borders. If I like a border, I'll try it a lot quicker than if I don't like the border. My problem is I don't love stitching people. I'm never super excited about stitching people. So we'll see if I change anything on that or if I leave it the way it was. And then my last one is kind of special to me. I've been looking for something that reminded me a little bit of my husband, and this one kind of did it. He always had this love of wolves. That was kind of, he just thought they were spectacular. I never stitched anything with wolves, or we didn't really decorate with anything with wolves, but he just always had kind of a attraction to them. When we went to Alaska together for our 25th anniversary, I think it was, we did end up seeing one up at Denali Park. And so I bought this pattern. And I like, oh, I've got a glare going yet. Ooh, that one's not even in a case. Let's see if I, there we go, it's a little better. But that reminded me a little bit of him and I. Just a couple together with one dominant male there. So anyway, silly me, but yeah, I liked that one a lot. So I thought I would try that one. And then I picked up this Stacy Nash Primitives Mary Mary Pin Keep. I thought that would make a really cute pillow. And this one I'll do probably more in the spring, but this is Brenda Gervais Bloom. I've seen that one done many, many times. And I love the shape of that one. I thought that would be good for spring. And I picked up, I'm starting to really like the Prairie Schooler Santas. And I picked up this one called Snowy Night. And I bought some Clostern. I think mine is a 10 count. I'm not sure if a 10 count is considered Clostern or not. But I think I might try to do him on a big pillow. So I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out. Okay, that's my pattern haul. Then I picked up a couple of project bags. This one was one of them. It's just all campers. I thought it was really fun. This also came from that stash site. Really fun license plate fabric on the back with some beautiful colors. And I picked this one up and I've already got something kitted in it. But it's kind of a spring one with dragonflies. This is another planned project. Be thankful. I bought that one last year with some really cute dragonflies on the back. So I got a couple of those. And then there's always the fabric. Oh, the fabric. Okay. This isn't really new, but it's new to me. I found this at the bottom of a pile. And it's Barb's Blend, you guys. I have a whole yard of Barb's Blend that did not make it into my organization, and I had forgotten that I even had it. So I am so excited. It's 40 count, but I am so excited that I found that. And then I did get, from the stash site, I got some 36 count. It's called Smoky Mountains. Does it say who it's by? No, I don't think it's by any particular company. The other one is called Candle Moss, but they're both really pretty neutral colors. One's very gray. One is kind of almost a purplish brown, maybe. Could just be the lighting, but those are going to be fun to add to the stash. And then I have a friend of mine who had asked me to sew something for her, and she said she liked hearts. And so I started scouring around looking for some fabric in hearts because I didn't really have anything. And I found this one, which I thought was so pretty. It's like little hearts with roses. And I'm going to stitch her some kind of a pouch or something. And then I found just a couple of coordinating. I found just a gray, pretty gray mottled polka dot, another pink kind of swirls with it that kind of emulates or simulates, the hearts in the other pattern. And then just a little tiny heart print. So I just bought some kind of coordinating fabrics to go with that main one there. So this is what they look like together. If I can get them organized here for you. I thought those would be kind of pretty together. So once I get my sewing stitching bug going again, I'll make that. Right now I just feel like stitching. But I never get tired of purchasing fabric. And I'd seen a quilt. So Erica Arndt does a lot of quilting. She does a little bit of cross stitching too, but she does mostly quilting. And she has a couple of really cute quilt patterns. And one of them she had done in a fabric called Farmhouse, which isn't available anymore. But I did, when I was searching for that, of course, I found something called Farmhouse 2. And I bought a small fat quarter of Farmhouse 2. I'm gonna have to take it out, aren't I? I'm trying to not have to take everything out, but this is really pretty. Let me fan them out for you guys. It's just really, it's either good basics or it'll make great project bags. I keep saying project bags, I never sew them, but they're really pretty colors. It's got a little bit of teal in there. And that was called Farmhouse 2, if you want to search for something like that. I just think it's got some really unique fabrics in there. And then one more from, I gotta reach for it, hang on. The Nebraska State Stitchers, is that what they're called? Jamie and her mom. I can't think of what her mom's name is. They have a Etsy shop that they started recently, and of course I had to support them, right? I mean, right? Didn't have a choice. So I bought a fat quarter from them, which is really pretty. Got lots of great fabrics in there too. I think there'll be some that could be used for fall. And a lot of yellows, some corals. I love coral. Yeah, I think those will be really fun. And then I just realized I have one more fabric that I got from Grace Note. I belong to Grace Note Fabrics, Fabric of the Month Club. Although I think I might be stopping that one. She tends to do colors that don't always appeal to me. And this is like the neutral club. It's called Aqua Fresca. And so it's really quite pretty, but it's really blue. And if you've learned nothing else about me, you've learned that I tend to be really quite timid in my fabric choices. So I don't do a whole lot of real colored ones. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm thinking right now I might just step out of that one for a time just because I haven't liked the last couple of them that I've gotten. But it's always still fun to add them to your stash, right? I mean, who knows, you might end up with just that perfect project that they would be so perfect for, that they would be just amazing. But I'm a chicken and I tend to stay with my tans and my browns and my grays and yeah, some of those things. Okay, the last thing I think I'm going to show you guys is, I don't know if any of you are aware of Poshta Designs. They are basically a felt and a dye company, and they came out with the most adorable dies for cutting a needle book, a little tiny needle book, or a floss drop. And they also have like a gift tag, like a tag die that I thought would be perfect for Christmas and that kind of thing. So I purchased a couple of their dies that they just came out with. And so this top one is the pocket tag. This one is the needle book down here. And this is the little floss drop die, which I think will be super fun to give a go, to give them a try and see how they turn out. I don't have any felt yet. Somebody help me. But anyway, I think that will be fun. So they also send you these cute like instructions and just pages that help you and give you ideas on how to put them together. So I'm really impressed with their company. I'll link them below too. I'll link as much as I can again, guys. And if I forget something, just shoot me a comment that says, could you tell me where you got this or where you got that if I forget to put something in there. So let me check my notes and see if I've forgotten anything important here. So again, the Facebook groups that I tend to use for those de-stash sites are called Stash Unloading, Cross Stitch, Stash Unload, and I think there might be one more, but I don't think I have a ton of luck on that one. So those are the main two that I go to when I'm looking for something, or if I'm bored, or if it's 3 in the morning. Yeah, okay. Then I wanted to do some shout outs again. I like doing that. I have benefited so much from shout outs. When Alana from Mrs. Smith Stitches shouted me out on her channel, my subscriber count jumped tremendously. And I just think it's nice when we can help each other and acknowledge each other and let other people know about them if you haven't heard of them already. Many of the ones that I'm going to say today, you probably all heard of before. HandmadebySarahW, she has a YouTube, she's on Flosstube under that. She's the one that I'm going to copy with my Mighty Acorn coloring. And then there's, of course, Alana with Mrs. Smith Stitches. I actually just spoke with Holly from Mrs. Jones Stitches earlier this week and reached out to her too for some help with converting colors for the Mighty Acorns because she stitches exclusively with color and cotton floss. And so I just feel like she's got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to that. And she actually just did a video on her fair entries, which were so pretty. I was impressed with how many she had. Oh my goodness, girl's been busy. The girl's been busy. And then of course there's Antique Needleworkers, Liz and Shelly, love them. They always make me laugh. They're so kind and so sweet and so generous. One that I watched this past week was the Calculated Stitcher. Her name is Jennifer, and I love everything that she does. I love all her projects. She's super easy to watch. And actually, she pulled me into a couple of new patterns and designs. There's one called Anniversaries of the Heart that she was working on. It's coming. It's coming. And then I watched a new gal with the whole online retreat that was on Instagram a week or two ago. What was it called? The Common Threaded Stitcher on Instagram. And I found a gal named Memphis.Sarah on Instagram. And so I started following her, and I started following her Flosstube. And there were two others that I have been drawn to. One is Teenieweeniestitches. Her name is Jamie. And Bernstiches. Her name is Bernadette. Both of those girls do a lot of kits. And I really like kits. And it was affirming to me to know that I wasn't like the only one out there that really enjoys purchasing the kits. I think a lot of them have just some really beautiful detail, and I love patterns too, as you can see by my haul and my stash, which is growing exponentially daily. But tell me I'm in good company, guys. Tell me that you all do it too. Okay, anyway, that's pretty much, I think, all I have for you guys today. So it's a little bit shorter. Like I said, I didn't feel like I had as much time to stitch, but I do want to do some giveaways just to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers, which, wow, you guys are amazing, amazing. I'm gonna start, first of all, with my Santa stops here. This was a duplicate that I bought, and it was not claimed the first time around. So I wanna try again and see if anybody would like this one. Just enter the number 1 if you're interested in this one. Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais. And the next one is called Season Samplers and Timepieces, designs by Margaret McKee. And there's several different ones in here. And I honestly don't even remember where this one came from. I feel like I bought that one off of the stash, but I don't remember buying that one off of the stash site. So if anybody is interested in any of those, it's got several different littler samplers in there. So if you're interested in this one, put in number 2. And lastly, I did it again. I bought 2 of something. And this is the one by Moira Blackburn, called To Everything That Is a Season and a Time. Or it's called, no, it's called actually Seasons and Time or something like that, but it's so pretty. This is the one that I was telling you I can't wait to get started on, but I ended up with 2 of those. So if you guys are interested in this last one, put in number 3, okay? And I will draw those just before my next video in a couple of weeks again. And I'll announce the winners at that point, okay? And I think that is all I've got today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks. And I pray that you guys will make an effort, an extra effort, go out of your way to be kind to someone, and to try to make someone smile. Be the reason that someone smiles. Hugs and blessings. That's how I answer all of my comments. You guys are probably getting sick of it, but it comes from my heart. Hugs and blessings to all of you guys. And keep stitching and stay happy. Bye, guys.